Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss the development of thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is the first endocrine gland to develop in embryo. It begins to develop about 24 days after fertilization. It develops from a median endodermal thickening in the floor of the primordial pharynx. This thickening is present between the first pharyngeal arch and then the second pharyngeal arch. The thickening soon form an outpouching downwards called the thyroid primordium. Now you can see in this diagram on the cranial side, the 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the pharyngeal pouches, while on the inferior side pharyngeal arches are present, and then this one is the thyroid primordium between the first and second pharyngeal arch. This thyroid primordium, first it is thickening, then a downward outpouching known as thyroid primordium. Now here again in this diagram you can see this place from where this downward outpouching take place is known as foramen caecum. It is present at the tip of sulcus terminalis, which is the line of demarcation between the anterior 2/3, that is the oral part, and posterior 1/3, that is the pharyngeal part of the tongue. Here you can see this is the downward outpouching. As the embryo grows and the tongue grows, the developed thyroid gland descends in the neck, passing ventral to the developing hyoid bone, laryngeal cartilages. For the short time, thyroid gland is connected to the tongue by a narrow tube, the thyroglossal duct. And in the beginning, this thyroid primordium is hollow. Then it becomes solid and descends downward in front of hyoid bone, laryngeal cartilages, and then it comes to lie in front of the tracheal rings. As at first the thyroid primordium is hollow, but it soon becomes solid and divides into right and left lobes. The two lobes are connected by the isthmus of the thyroid gland. Isthmus lies anterior to the developing second and third tracheal rings. Here you can see in the pharynx, that is the foramen caecum, then downward thyroglossal duct, and still downward this is the thyroid gland, and this one is the hyoid bone. Now here this is the side view. Here you can see this is the foramen caecum at the junction of anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3 of the tongue, and then is the thyroglossal duct. Then this one is the hyoid bone, and the thyroid gland is passing in front of the laryngeal cartilages, and then it comes to lie in the neck. Isthmus is present in front of the second and third pharyngeal rings, and lobes, they are present on the side. By the 7th week, the thyroid has reached its final site in the neck. The proximal opening of the thyroglossal duct become closed, and a small pit is present in the tongue which is known as foramen cecum. A pyramidal lobe extends upward from the isthmus in about 50% of the people. The pyramidal lobe and the associated smooth muscle represent the lower part of the thyroglossal duct from which they develop. Now, the thyroid gland, this endodermal thickening which proceed downward and then become divided into two lobes which are connected by isthmus. These endodermal cells, they grow in cord-like manner. Then these cords, they break up into small groups and they form rounded follicles which are surrounding a cavity. These are known as thyroid follicles. Then the ultimopharyngeal body, which was the dorsal part of the fourth pharyngeal pouch, it is incorporated into it, and this ultimopharyngeal body, it is modified into the C cells, parafollicular cells, which secrete the calcitonin, and in this way these cells, they help in the regulation of serum calcium level. Now, thyroglossal duct, cyst and sinus. You have seen that the foramen cecum, which is present at the junction of anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3 of the tongue. From this place downward, thyroglossal duct comes. In the beginning it is patent duct, but then it becomes degenerated. Sometimes this persists, and when it persists, some part of it may contain some cavity. The cavity may be present superior to the hyoid bone, then inferior to the hyoid bone in front of the larynx. These cavities, they are known as thyroglossal cysts. These cysts, they are symptomless. They produce no symptom. But if they become infected and the infection prolongs, then they may rupture on the surface. So in this way, thyroglossal sinus, it is formed. So here you can see a thyroglossal cyst. Then if some thyroid cyst tissue is left in the tongue, and here the endoderm differentiate into thyroid follicles, this is known as lingual thyroid, and then this tissue is present in the tongue. You can see in the tongue there is a slight swelling which is indicating the lingual thyroid gland, which is part of the thyroid gland which has been left in the tongue while the descent of the thyroid tissue take place from the tongue through the thyroglossal duct. The thyroglossal duct become degenerated, but it may persist, and then it give rise to the congenital abnormalities like thyroglossal cyst and thyroglossal sinus. So that's all about the development of thyroid gland.